We need him to talk to us about Star Trek. You are the biggest Star Trek nerd that I know.
Oh, I appreciate that compliment.
I mean, your
welcome.
laptop literally has the Star Trek symbol instead of the Apple symbol.
Yes, it does.
I love that.
Thank you.
Does
Nerd.
it?
You nerd.
Yeah.
Nerds.
This is.
That-
Oh,
that's,
that is
not
a
my,
smart.
that's not my
I
laptop.
was like, is this a?
No. You'll see it after the
See,
show.
mine has
Superman and Porgs
Yeah.
and Star Wars and Little Bobby and the Juice.
If you don't put stickers on your laptop to show your nerddoms, are you really a fan at all?
I don't.
No.
I have no
You
stickers
might
on my
be.
laptop.
Well, are you really a fan then?
Am I though?
Are you?
You might be, but you're just lazy, like me.
That's very true.
That's
Let's
how my
talk a
desk
little
is empty.
Star Trek, though. What's going on, Riley? Tell us what's all new in the world of Star Trek.
Well, again, Deadline's coming in with an exclusive that Noah Hawley is going to write and direct the fourth Star Trek film in the J.J. Abrams Bad Robot universe. So it looks like we're having the original cast coming back. Chris Pine, Zachary Quinto, Zoe Saldana, Simon Pegg, and Carl Urban. So
By original cast, I was like, wait, Leonard Nimoy's back?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
That would
it's
be
the same
amazing.
people with James Dean.
Okay.
So there's been mixed reception on the internet I've seen because he's a very strong voice, obviously coming from Legion and Fargo, but most recently from Lucy in the Sky, which was not as well received as
Right.
those shows. Thad, when you first heard this, how did you feel about this announcement?
I was excited about a new take on Star Trek. I'm really looking forward to Star Trek 4. I want Star Trek 4 to happen. It's been stalled for quite some time. And I think that given his writing background, I think that he probably came in with a really good pitch for a different take because Chris Hemsworth is probably not going to be in this movie. And that was the original pitch for Star Trek 4.
Right.
It was going to be a combination where we were going to get George Kirk and James Kirk together in one movie. They couldn't sort out the prices for the Chris's.
When you say
Right.
probably not going to be in this movie, I didn't even realize that was still possibly on a radar somewhere.
I think it's probably 95% positively that it's not going to happen.
But in the way that Henry Cavill's like suit's still in my closet,
Right.
they could still at some point
Right.
be like, hello, don't forget about us.
You never know.
Now,
Okay.
how do you feel about the new trilogy?
I actually, on the whole, enjoy the new trilogy. I thought that the Star Trek 2009 was a really fun movie.
Right.
I thought it was a great way to bring Star Trek back into the pop culture landscape and find a new legion of fans, no pun intended. But because I think that on the whole, I think Star Trek has kind of been was a dying franchise for quite some time. It was an aging franchise. They weren't getting younger audience members excited about Star Trek. And I think that the new movies did that. I think the new TV shows are doing that. I'm curious if this is in any way going to connect with what they're doing on the Star Trek universe television side now that Paramount and Viacom and CBS are merging again.
Do you want it to?
I think it'd be interesting if it did.
I mean, they
I don't
did it in
know.
the old movies, and I loved it when I got to see Picard and Kirk.
Right.
So you never know. That would be fun.
It could happen. I mean, they're doing a lot of crazy stuff on the TV side, so I don't know if this would have any connection with their Prime Universe stories on television or CBS All Access, or if it would just stick with the Kelvin timeline and the new cast.
Thad, you were saying something outside about how Noah Hawley actually probably got this offer because he was saying that he came in with some kind of a pitch.
Came up with a good pitch.
That's my guess. If I were guessing on this, I think that he probably came in for a meeting and had a strong take on what the fourth movie could be, and probably threw his weight around a little bit and said, if you want me to write this script, I'd like to direct it. Because clearly they're not hiring him off of Lucy in the Sky.
Right.
Because that did not seem to work for so
Did any of you guys see it in here?
Missed
Okay,
it.
so
Yeah.
but I do love Legion and Fargo.
I
so.
saw the movie and it was so incredibly stylized, similar to Legion,
Right.
and Fargo's actually pretty stylized as well, that it made me think the movie was not excellent. It was not as bad as people said it was, but it was not excellent. But it made me think he must have a really strong take on this. Whatever that is, it must be there's no way that he's like, all right, studio, I'll do whatever it is you guys want. I'll just be that director you shoehorn in, tell me what to do, and I'll just make that happen. He's not that kind of director. He's very clearly saying, I'm going to make this the movie that I want to make this. Are you guys cool with that? And I actually think that probably will bode pretty well for the Star Trek 4 movie.
Well, wasn't there a rumor, or wasn't he in talks to work on a Doctor Doom project?
Yeah, that's been bandied around for a long time.
Right.
I don't know what the status of that is.
When I first heard that got me very excited because I would like to see a showrunner like the Noah Hawleys, like the Brian Fullers of the world work on these superheroes. So that's why I personally got super excited when I saw this news in the morning.
Yeah, the thing that excites me the most about this is that it might finally put to bed this whole Quentin Tarantino nonsense.
Yeah.
Are you not into that?
I am not into Quentin Tarantino doing Star Trek. I don't think that he ever would. I don't think Paramount would ever greenlight that script.
Oh, so you're calling it nonsense because you don't think that was ever even on the table?
I don't think he was ever going to direct it. Personally, I know that they set up a writer's room to break his story and to come up with a script for it, but this whole like hard R Trek, that just sounded like desperation from Paramount executives.
Well, come on, don't you want to see some bloody tribbles?
Yes,
I mean,
do.
I
Sorta,
would.
kinda. I mean,
The Trouble with Bloody Trebles.
Yeah.
That's actually what it should be called.
For what it's worth, Deadline is saying it's still separately working on
trebles or
this
triples?
Quentin Tarantino movie,
Yeah.
and will likely carry an R rating. That's what they're saying. So,
I mean-
Mark L. Smith is the Revenant
Right.
writer, so he's working on this with Tarantino. Apparently, that's what is being said in Deadline's report. So,
Mike, thoughts? Noah
Yes.
Hawley. Interested?
I'm not as big a Trek fan as everybody, but I will say this: the Abrams stuff really hit me right. I love all three of the ones recently, but I have affinity for the other stuff too. So I'm not attached to it in any kind of way. Like there's not. But I did love the George Kirk, that whole time travel they were going to
Sure.
be together. I did like
know,
that.
I
love
thought
that
idea.
I thought that was gonna be
such
really
a
cool.
good idea. Like,
yeah.
and no, maybe since MIB kind of tanked, there's a little less bargaining power in there. But then Endgame is
Right.
billions, so it's
Yeah,
like
they couldn't work out the prices. I mean,
Yeah.
it's Chris and Chris.
Yeah.
You
What
know,
are
they're
they-
like two of
that
the
cast is
biggest
so
stars.
lovable and likable.
And in general, though, what are they going to do with Chekhov?
They haven't
know.
said. I mean, they
Yeah.
kind of hinted when they started prepping this fourth movie that they were either going to say that Chekhov was on an away mission, or like
I don't know if that
they
will
hadn't
play
decided
well.
whether
Yeah.
or not they were going to kill him off.
Yeah.
But they definitely said that they didn't want to replace the actor.
Right. Well,
They didn't
he
want to
was so
They didn't
good.
want to replace
Yeah.
Anton.
Let me ask you this, though, because we've been having the conversation a lot on this show recently as we were talking about the James Dean thing and now with Carrie Fisher, which are obviously two completely different examples. But would you want to see his character mocapped, recreated, CGI'd?
I'm not really into that in general, but if it came with the full blessing of his family, and it served the story, I wouldn't want them to do it just to say like, oh, he's back in the movie, Chekhov's there.
Like if he popped in and was like, I'll see you guys in the future.
Yeah.
I've got to go on a mission, and we saw that, and then he leaves. So he's in like maybe 2 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, like
As like a tribute as opposed
Yeah.
to a cameo, I guess.
Like
I'd be
young
o-
Carrie Fisher in Rogue One. Like that quick.
Something like that.
yeah, that could be done if it serviced the story well, and it gave a finality to his character as kind of a they did something sort of similar with Leonard Nimoy,
Right.
after he had, because I think didn't he die before Into Darkness came out, or right
think
after?
so.
And that they worked him in
I'm not sure.
via a view screen conversation.
Right.
Yes, in the darkness, he was the view screen. It was
Yeah.
like he was telling him about Khan.
Right.
Yeah.
And then, but it's all view screen.
Yeah. Yeah.
He died 2 years after.
Yeah, I
Darkness came
was
out.
thinking it was
Oh,
after.
2 years after.
2 years after.
Yeah.
Then when did they do the photograph? The photograph stuff was all in Beyond then. That's what
The
that's what-
photographs in Beyond.
The photograph is in Beyond. That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And I don't think they reused footage, or they didn't make.
No.
They didn't make, but they were able to tribute him without
Right, that was what it was,
creating
yes.
creating a
Yeah, 'cause
digital
he
version.
gets the alert saying that Spock was dead. He like gets the message that Spock was dead.
Right.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Oh
Wow.
well, come on.
Well,
now, Rox.
he died back in the 80s too.
Yeah.
Spock died.
Spock
a lot.
dies a lot.
Yeah.
He died in the 60s a couple times. Like
Exactly.
they keep killing the guy.
Mike, how do you feel about a CGI/mocap?
I'm against all of that.
Even if
Well,
it's 2 minutes, blessing of his family.
Yeah, no, that's different. But
Okay.
I think we're going down a rabbit hole. You guys talked about with the James Dean thing.
Yeah,
it is a
I'm with you, man.
dangerous, ugly rabbit hole that they're talking about Paul Walker and now number 9 that they're gonna do. He's gonna be in it.
What?
I mean, that was something, right?
I don't know.
I saw a story like
Cody?
they want to bring Brian back, and it's like with the
God.
blessing of the family, the brother doing the and I was like, yay, your actors they're dead. It's
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
I don't.
Totally.
You're on
Roxy,
board.
Roxy's on board with this.
It's a hell of a Roxy.
You want digital fakes of everybody?
No,
Jesus,
of me.
no.
I want to be everywhere. You haven't heard?
Yeah.
But like,
Did
There's
you
a movie
see-
called
did-
Multiplicity. Do you ever see that movie about someone being everywhere?
Great movie.
it is
Thank you.
underrated.
Yeah,
underrated.
it's a great
movie.
Amazing
Love
movie.
that.
Oh yeah, Roxy's not even here. This is a
Jesus,
digital
Roxy.
copy.
Yeah, it's actually a hologram. Like
I don't
she's
know
at
why
home.
we're
So then
doing
there'd
this.
be
Like, it would-
then there'd be dozens of Roxys not getting laid everywhere.
No.
Oh!
Shots across the
Damn.
bow.
And
We
I
could
come
start a support group for
full
each other, okay? It would be a nice support group of good people. Thank you very much, sir. Thank
But
you
you know
for
how the
joining
copies
us for
get
a
worse
Star
and worse
Trek
as they go on?
conversation.
I want to meet
You're
like
very
Roxy number
welcome.
12.
Yeah.
It's just hair's all
Let
disheveled.
me
She
say
just comes, she's
goodbye
like,
to my
"Ah."
friend Thad.
okay.
Excuse
Oh, we're saying
you.
goodbye? I
Yeah, I
didn't
was
want
saying
that
goodbye.
to
We got to
leave.
get him
It's all
back
right.
to work so that
All
we
right.
and
Yeah,
we'll
I-
stop talking Star Trek now.